Hey guys, Ebony Powell here and welcome to another Fancy Face episode. So in today's video, if you could tell by the title, I am going to be talking about the 5 things that I've learned as the wife of a creative. I'm pretty sure that there's like a jillion more that I could talk about, but these 5 kind of like stood out at me. The idea of this video came about maybe almost a year ago. My husband and I moved to Los Angeles so that he could attend the master's program for producing and directing and film at USC. It was such a life-changing experience, and I think I remember talking to a friend. I was talking to a friend who's also the wife of a creative, and she said, we should write a book for young wives whose husbands do this stuff. And I was like, absolutely. Not a book right now, but I am going to be talking about a couple of things. It's really crazy because my husband is a creative and then I'm a creative too. And so it's kind of like one of those things where there's like that give and take, there's that understanding. It still can be stressful given whatever area that you're in. And when I say creative, I mean more specifically for entertainment, and I use that word loosely. So I'm thinking photographers, videographers, anyone that is in film, painters, musicians, of course. What am I missing? Editors. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes under being a creative. My husband's a creative. I'm a creative, but I'm a full-time teacher also, and so my creative platform, if you will, is only a certain portion, while my husband's is 100%. This is all he does. There's no plan of a plan B. I have learned over the past couple of years how to be a supportive wife. And this is not just for wives, this is for husbands too. If your spouse is a creative, I hope that this video helps you. So before we get into the video, if you have not subscribed already, make sure that you click that red button and also that little bell that lets you know anytime I have a new video uploaded. All right, I think that's it for my little pre-sermon. Let's get into the video. Okay, so I wrote my 5 things down. This is not in any specific order. Number 1, the creativity never stops. Okay, this is the first thing, one of the first things that I learned. My husband is a filmmaker. He's also a preacher. He's also a writer. He's a lot of different things. And so our life is consumed with creativity and ideas. There are times where we are in the movies and he's like, yeah, I could use that. And he's like writing down ideas. And at first, sometimes it used to annoy me because I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we're in the middle of dinner right now. Like, you can't write down your ideas. But I had to also kind of do a little self-reflection. And there are times when I wake up in the middle of the night and there's like lyrics in my head, because I sing too. There's like lyrics in my head or an idea, and I will turn over and grab my phone and I usually type it in my note. And then sometimes if it's a song, if I have a melody in my head, I will try to sing it and I listen to it the next day. It's the worst thing ever, but I can kind of like grasp what I was trying to convey. But I had to respect that on his end as well. So it's like a 24/7 situation. You cannot let it irritate you, even though sometimes it seems like it can be at the most inopportune time. You have to respect that creative process. Number 2, and I feel like this is this is an important one. Respect the art, not the money. Respect the art and not the money. There are so many times where both Vincent and I have done work for nothing at all. It's kind of a situation where you feel like, yeah, you have to pay your dues. You know, you have to put some skin in the game, and that can be very frustrating. If you do not love what you do as a creative, then doing things for free is not going to make you happy. There's been so many sets that Vincent has worked on that he has gotten nothing. And I mean, these are things outside of school. There are different makeup events that I've had to do that were either for free or for a very, very, very low price, or much lower price than what I would usually charge. But if I'm working on a set, I think about like just that whole experience. Like I love being on set and doing makeup, or, you know, being there for a friend. Hey, I know that this friend can't afford my regular price, so I'm going to, you know, help them out. Having that heart doesn't always bring in the best resources. If you are creative, I'm pretty sure that you already know that, but if you are not, you have to think about that for your spouse. You can't get mad at them all the time, you know, if they're taking jobs where they're not getting a lot of money. In the beginning, especially at the beginning, it's not always going to be this shower of cash that's falling into your lap, or your husband's lap, or your wife's lap as they're doing these jobs. Sometimes it's to make some connections, get some networking done, and then later on, hopefully those efforts will pay off. Number 3, prepare for awkward hours, especially if you're married. My husband does not have a regular sleep schedule. I've had to, at first I used to try to keep up with him, like, oh, I'm gonna stay up with you and XYZ. No, I can't do that. I get up at 5:30 every morning. But there are times where he's working through the night. I've literally seen Vincent probably edit from maybe 5 until like 7 the next morning, and then leave and go do a job, and then come back and then edit again. And I'm just thinking like, dude, when are you going to sleep? But those hours can be really, really awkward. I know when Vincent started school, for me, it would throw me completely off, because we were like ships in the night. Like I would go to bed without seeing him, and then it would be so hard for me to go to sleep. And then I would wake up and he would be there, but then I'd be leaving. It was just really, really, it was just bad. But I had to get used to that. I had to get used to those 12-hour shoot days. I had to get used to, you know, editing at night. And then at first I really did not understand it. Like it would really, really irritate me until I became an editor. I started editing my YouTube videos. Newfound respect, let me tell ya. But yeah, those hours are gonna be awkward. Prepare for it. It is what it is. Number 4, this is kind of more generalized. I've learned to go with the flow. If I wanted to, I could have an opinion about everything. Some things where I feel like, oh, they're overworking you, or that's not fair, or that's a little awkward, blah, 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 blah. And I just have to trust his creative process, and I have to trust that he's not gonna like lead us down in a ditch somewhere. For me, going with the flow means, oh, we're driving to the mall, but hey, let me swing by this set really quick because I want to make a couple of I want to have a couple of minutes of networking with some people that are on set. Could I get upset about that? Yes, I could. But is the mall gonna be there afterwards? Yes, it is. So I've learned to go with the flow. Different things like that. And I think it's more so like things that interrupt our schedule, interrupt our day that we weren't planning for, used to really irk me. But now I've learned to just kind of be like, all right, just let it roll off my shoulders. You know, I'm only 5 years into this. I'm pretty sure by my 20th year, I'm gonna be like a G. Add some kids in there somewhere. I'm just saying. Then I'll be able to write my book. And then lastly, number 5, oh my gosh, I cannot say this enough. Support, support, support. And I say this in 2 ways. Number 1, make sure that you're supporting your spouse. They already deal with enough, or let me say we already deal with enough of, man, is this good enough? I don't think that I can do this. Oh, this sucks. This is devastating. Oh, I'm never gonna get better at this. We already deal with that enough. And so to have someone that's like on our back, you're never home, you always blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying that you can't voice your opinion, because I've definitely done that, especially in the beginning when I didn't understand this new life that we were getting to when we moved to LA. But that communication really did help. Us communicating and talking about it helped me support him better. And then also me having the support of friends that are either creatives or wives. Like, I'm blessed to have so many sister friends that are wives of creatives or creatives themselves. And there are some times where we just kind of like vent to each other. Oh my gosh, so-and-so is traveling again and I'm gonna be without my husband with my kid for a week. Or my husband was up editing all night. Like, they understand that. So if there is any possible way for you to get in community with another person that is in your shoes, I highly recommend it. There is nothing like having the support of friends to help you be able to support your spouse. And at the end of the day, that support will take your spouse a million miles. They can be in the lowest point, they can be the saddest, they can be disappointed, but when you are able to genuinely give words of encouragement and just really pump and push your spouse, it makes a world of a difference. Okay, that's all of my tips for now. I'm pretty sure that by the end of this year, I might have about 5 more. There's some areas in my life that I have not gotten to just yet. And as Vincent and I are climbing this creative entertainment ladder, it gets more and more interesting, but it teaches me new lessons. I'm glad and I feel blessed to be able to take and put that in my tool bag so that of course I can share that with other spouses and with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. As always, you guys can follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.